So, good afternoon,
Good
Joel.
afternoon.
I'm so happy to introduce my friend Joel Flores. Joel and I have known each other for quite a while. Joel has been an Orange County teacher, a parent, a student advocate for 18 years. During his career, he has taught at every level possible, including elementary, high school, adult education, community college, and university. So it's great to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
You're running for Coast Community College Board of Trustees, Area 5. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm always confused about this. What colleges does Coast Community College represent? How many?
3. Orange Coast College, Golden West, and Coastline.
Okay. What do you think are the major problems facing CCC this coming year?
Well,
Can I call it CCC?
The Coast Community College District.
Okay. CCD.
Yeah.
Okay, CCD.
So hiring a new chancellor is the top priority. One that can really put the district in a new direction, a fresh start, and then also a vice chancellor of human resources. That's a big one. And then most of the accreditation issues that the ACCJC had warned the Coast District about. Most of those issues are handled, so just there's a couple outstanding.
So all of those colleges are accredited as we speak,
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
Okay, and they will be, you think, in the coming year.
Yes.
Okay. So what is the current relationship between CCD, excuse me, and Newport Mesa with regard to early college high school, which has it has taken a little, let's just say, a few hits because there are so few students involved and so on. But they had a great relationship and they've done very well. And so what do you think is the future?
My understanding is that both organizations, the Newport Mesa School District and the Coast Community College District, have an agreement that it will continue.
Okay. Yes, okay, let's go back to the accreditation issues. That was a few years ago that this sort of cropped up, correct? And what are they around? Do you know?
So the ACCJC is a really difficult agency to find out about. There's been a lot of controversy, as you know, up in San Francisco regarding their accreditation at the community college. And so it's a variety of issues. And the one thing to be clear is that it is not about like the quality of the teaching instruction.
Right. But you do have some issues about major problems that are coming up this year regarding the faculty, right? That you were telling me about.
Yes. So you could get dinged, for example, not having the right ratio of management or having like not enough full-time faculty, and so they make it difficult, right? Because how do you balance, when they want you to hire more management and but you also need to hire more full-time faculty. So there's a lot of difficulties. And right now, the full-time faculty is only at 29%.
That's hard to believe, really.
Yeah.
So what was it at its peak? Certainly more than that, right?
Yeah, certainly more.
I'm assuming.
I know it was in the 40 not too long, well, a decade ago.
What do you feel should be done differently apart from that? I mean, where would you like to see it going?
Yeah, I mean, with respect to the faculty hiring.
Well, yeah.
I think that we need to have a plan. Like the Board of Trustees needs to come up with a plan to rebuild the lost full-time FTEs, and really like hold management accountable for achieving the board's priorities. Because we're always told. And I'm saying from the point of view of like a parent, or the point of, because I'm a parent, the point of view of a teacher, we're always told there's not enough money to do this, right? And yet I know that there's always enough money when it comes to those really expensive pet projects, outside consultants,
That's an endemic problem in education, isn't it? Outside consultants.
Yes, I mean you can have someone come in and show a fancy PowerPoint and dazzle the board, and then the check is ready to write. But when it comes to opening up more class sections of English or math or something, just some of the basics, it's not quite as generous.
What is the state of technology within these schools?
Not good. Recently, management reorganized technology, the department, without consulting with the classified employees. They just went ahead and it was basically shifting from the colleges to the district office. And so it created more problems than it solved. And then the internet connection is really slow.
You don't have broadband. They don't have broadband throughout.
I don't know if they have broadband, but I know that it's slow from what I've heard, and that's one of the issues that needs to be handled.
Okay, and gosh, I've asked all the questions, so here's my favorite. Unless you probably would like to say something other than what I've asked you.
Yeah. So I just wanted to say that, as you had mentioned earlier, I've taught at all levels, and the reason that I'm running is because for so many years I've seen my students can't get the classes that they need. They complain about it takes 3 weeks to see a counselor. My daughter is now a community college student herself, and all her friends are community college, so I'm kind of just like surrounded by kids who are struggling with trying to get through in 2 years, which is just pretty difficult. So it's been on my radar for a few years as it's been getting closer to me, and certainly with my students. And I know that I'll be able to make a difference. I want to reprioritize the budget. I want to find out if we need to be spending money on those pet projects and the outside consultants. The budget reserves are at 25%. The state requires a 5% budget reserve.
Wow.
And when you're holding reserves, isn't that for a rainy day? So, if we're turning students away, then isn't that raining already? And I think that, I'm definitely a moderate, because I would be willing to see the budget go to like 15% reserves, 3 times what the state requires, if that means that we can open up more classes and help maybe hire more counselors and get more full-time faculty.
Yeah, more counselors. I love that idea.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, would you have an intern? Would you have an intern work with you?
No, the trustees don't have interns.
They don't.
They don't.
Is there some kind of rule?
No.
That's my favorite thing. Interns are my favorite thing.
Okay, tell me about interns.
Well, at UCI and other places, you can. I think probably at your community colleges too. You can have an intern that will work for you doing research and so on and get credit for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's something to think about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So it doesn't involve money. It just involves credit for, and you have to teach them, along the way, which would be easy for you.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
It's great for you to come in. Thank you
for
so
having
much.
me. Yeah.